Welcome to WiserReads, the place where timeless stories and powerful lessons from books come alive. Today, we dive into a true classic of American literature and military storytelling, Once an Eagle by Anton Myrer. First published in 1968, this monumental novel has become more than just a work of fiction. It is a guide to leadership, integrity, and the eternal conflict between ambition and honor. At its core, Once an Eagle follows the life of Sam Damon, a young man from humble beginnings who rises through the ranks of the U.S. Army. His journey spans decades, from the brutal trenches of World War I to the shifting battlefields of World War II and beyond. Along the way, Sam Damon is tested not only by combat, but also by the choices that define his character: loyalty, courage, sacrifice, and the responsibility of command. In contrast stands Courtney Massengale, Damon's rival, a man who climbs the ladder of power through manipulation, politics, and ambition. Their clash is not just personal, it represents the eternal struggle between those who serve for honor and those who serve for self-interest. What makes this book so remarkable is that it's not just a war story. It's a mirror held up to leadership in every field of life. Whether in the military, business, or personal relationships, the lessons resonate. True leadership is built on integrity, and greatness is found in sacrifice, not in ambition. So join me as we explore the key themes, lessons, and unforgettable moments from Once an Eagle. Together, we'll uncover why this story has inspired generations of readers and continues to shape our understanding of what it really means to lead.
Introduction to Sam Damon sets the stage for one of the most compelling portraits of character and leadership in modern literature. Sam Damon is introduced as a young man of humble origins, raised in a small town with strong moral values. From an early age, he exhibits qualities that will define him throughout his life: integrity, discipline, resilience, and a deep sense of duty. His upbringing instills in him the belief that hard work, honesty, and responsibility are the true measures of a person. Even as a boy, Damon demonstrates courage and determination, facing challenges that test both his physical and moral strength. He is guided by a clear sense of right and wrong, often standing firm even when easier, less honorable choices are available. These early experiences foreshadow the ethical and professional standards that will govern his military career. Damon's introduction also emphasizes the contrast between his grounded, value-driven approach to life and the ambition-driven paths of others he will encounter. Later, particularly Courtney Massengale. While Damon is motivated by service and principle, Massengale seeks status and recognition, setting up the central tension of the novel. This opening section lays the foundation for understanding Damon not just as a soldier, but as a man whose character is tested and refined through trials. It highlights the importance of integrity, humility, and perseverance, qualities that will carry him through the horrors of war and the complexities of leadership. By establishing Sam Damon's origins, Myrer prepares readers to witness the growth of a leader whose true strength lies not in rank or power, but in unwavering commitment to duty, honor, and the people he serves.
Early military life. The early military life section of Once an Eagle chronicles Sam Damon's entry into the U.S. Army and the formative experiences that shape him into a soldier and future leader. After leaving his humble hometown, Damon embraces military life with the same discipline, courage, and integrity that defined his upbringing. From the very beginning, he distinguishes himself not through ambition or self-promotion, but through dedication, responsibility, and a genuine concern for those under his command. Basic training and early assignments test Damon physically, mentally, and morally. He learns that the army is not only about skill and strategy, but also about character, ethics, and the ability to endure hardship without compromising one's principles. Damon's approach to leadership is grounded in service. He leads by example, earns the respect of his peers, and inspires loyalty through fairness, empathy, and unwavering commitment. During these formative years, Damon also encounters the first signs of institutional politics and rivalry, most notably embodied in figures like Courtney Massengale, whose contrasting values highlight the ethical choices that will define Damon's career. These early challenges provide Damon with invaluable lessons in judgment, resilience, and the importance of personal integrity. Beyond military technique and hierarchy, Damon's early service underscores the deeper themes of the novel: the weight of responsibility, the moral complexities of leadership, and the enduring importance of honor. By the end of this stage, Sam Damon emerges not just as a competent soldier, but as a man whose character has been tempered in the crucible of early trials, ready to face the harrowing demands of combat and the ethical dilemmas of a life devoted to service.
World War I, The First Test. The World War I, The First Test section of Once an Eagle marks a pivotal point in Sam Damon's journey, where his values, leadership, and courage are truly tested on the battlefield. Having already proven himself in early military life, Damon faces the harsh realities of war as he is deployed to Europe, confronting the brutal and chaotic environment of World War I. This period serves as both a literal and figurative crucible, shaping the soldier and man he will become. In the trenches, Damon experiences the relentless physical and psychological demands of combat. The horrors of war, the constant threat of death, the suffering of his fellow soldiers, and the chaos of battle force him to rely not only on his tactical skills, but also on his moral compass. Unlike some of his peers, Damon consistently prioritizes the welfare of his men, demonstrating empathy, courage, and fairness even in life-and-death situations. This commitment earns him the respect and loyalty of those under his command, setting him apart as a leader in both action and principle. During this first test, Damon's ethical fortitude is contrasted sharply with the ambition and self-interest of others, including Courtney Massengale, whose pursuit of personal advancement often disregards the well-being of soldiers. This contrast highlights one of the central themes of the novel: the difference between leadership rooted in honor and leadership driven by ego and opportunism. Damon's decisions during the war reveal a profound understanding that true leadership is measured not by rank or accolades, but by the ability to protect and inspire those one leads. The section also explores the psychological toll of war. Damon witnesses loss, fear, and the moral ambiguities inherent in combat. These experiences test his character, forcing him to confront the complexity of human behavior under extreme circumstances. Despite the horrors around him, his integrity remains steadfast, reinforcing the novel's message that character is forged in adversity. By the end of this section, Damon emerges as a battle-hardened yet principled officer. World War I does not merely test his tactical skills, it solidifies his commitment to duty, honor, and ethical leadership. The lessons learned in this crucible will guide him through the challenges of subsequent wars, professional rivalries, and personal dilemmas. This first test sets the tone for the rest of Damon's life and career, establishing him as a timeless example of courage, integrity, and selfless leadership.
Between Wars, Growth and Challenges. The Between Wars, Growth and Challenges section of Once an Eagle focuses on the period in Sam Damon's life following World War I, a time when his character, leadership, and values continued to develop amidst personal and professional challenges. This period is less about battlefield heroics and more about the nuanced growth of Damon as a man and officer navigating the complexities of military life, family, and society. After the war, Damon returns to peacetime assignments where he faces new obstacles: bureaucratic inertia, political maneuvering, and the slow pace of institutional reform. Unlike many who seek personal advancement, Damon remains committed to his principles and the well-being of his men. He observes firsthand how ambition and self-interest, embodied in rivals like Courtney Massingale, can distort decision-making within the Army, creating conflicts between ethical duty and career advancement. These experiences deepen Damon's understanding of leadership, highlighting the importance of integrity, patience, and long-term vision. During this period, Damon also experiences significant personal growth. His family life becomes a central aspect of his identity, providing both joy and responsibility. He struggles to balance the demands of military service with his duties as a husband and father, illustrating the universal challenge of maintaining personal integrity while fulfilling professional obligations. These struggles humanize Damon, showing that true leadership extends beyond the battlefield to encompass moral, emotional, and relational intelligence. Professional development during this interwar period is marked by continued training, education, and exposure to emerging military strategies and technologies. Damon refines his tactical and organizational skills while remaining committed to the core principles that guide his actions. His leadership style evolves to emphasize mentorship, empathy, and ethical decision-making, setting a standard for those around him. The period between wars also reinforces one of the novel's central themes, the tension between honor and ambition. Damon witnesses the consequences of compromising ethics for personal gain and contrasts them with the enduring respect and loyalty earned through principled leadership. These lessons prepare him for the challenges of World War II and shape the moral framework that defines his career. By the end of this section, Damon emerges as a well-rounded officer and man of strong character, tempered by both hardship and reflection. The Between Wars period demonstrates that leadership is not only forged in combat, but also in the quieter, often overlooked moments of life, through ethical choices, personal sacrifices, and the steady pursuit of excellence. Damon's growth during this era underscores the novel's enduring message. True greatness is built on integrity, perseverance, and unwavering commitment to duty, long before glory or recognition is ever earned.
Courtland Courtney Massingale, The Foil. The Courtland Courtney Massingale section of Once an Eagle introduces one of the most important contrasts in the novel, the character of Courtney Massingale, whose ambition, cunning, and moral compromise serve as a counterpoint to Sam Damon's integrity, honor, and selfless leadership. Massingale's character is essential to understanding the ethical and professional tensions that drive the story, highlighting the choices that define true leadership. Massingale is depicted as a man who is highly intelligent, socially polished, and strategically ambitious. From the beginning, he's aware of how to navigate the Army's bureaucracy, leveraging charm, alliances, and political maneuvering to advance his career. Unlike Damon, Massingale's motivations are rooted in personal gain rather than duty or ethical responsibility. His actions reveal a willingness to manipulate situations and people to achieve recognition and rank, even at the expense of his subordinates or the greater mission. Throughout the narrative, Massingale's rise contrasts sharply with Damon's steady, principle-based path. While Damon earns respect through genuine leadership, Massingale often ascends by appearances and opportunism. This dynamic establishes one of the novel's central conflicts, the clash between honor-driven and ambition-driven leadership. Massingale embodies the dangers of a system that can reward self-interest over integrity, offering a critical lens on the tension between personal ambition and moral duty. The foil relationship between Damon and Massingale is not merely professional, it is deeply ethical. Damon's decisions consistently prioritize the well-being of his men, mission success, and ethical conduct. Massingale, however, prioritizes status, recognition, and career advancement, even when it compromises those same principles. This contrast illuminates the qualities that distinguish great leaders from those who merely seek power: empathy, courage, accountability, and unwavering commitment to service. Massengale also serves to highlight Damon's strengths by providing a foil against which Damon's character is measured. Through Massengale's actions, the reader gains a clearer understanding of Damon's moral courage, resilience, and leadership philosophy. The rivalry foreshadows future challenges Damon will face, particularly in higher command, where political pressures and institutional dynamics test the balance between ethics and ambition. In essence, the Cortland-Cordy-Massengale section underscores a key theme of Once an Eagle. Leadership is as much about moral character as tactical skill. Massengale's ambition-driven path exemplifies what can happen when self-interest eclipses principle, while Damon's integrity demonstrates the enduring value of honor and service. Through this contrast, Anton Myrer emphasizes that the true measure of a leader is not merely rank or achievement, but the ethical choices that define their career and legacy.
World War II, the Supreme Trial. The World War II, the Supreme Trial section of Once an Eagle depicts the defining phase of Sam Damon's military career, where his leadership, integrity, and personal courage are tested under the most extreme conditions. By this time, Damon has matured into a seasoned officer whose values, honor, duty, and loyalty have guided him through previous conflicts. World War II presents a new level of challenges, combining large-scale strategy, political pressures, and the immense responsibility of commanding thousands of men in life-and-death situations. Damon's battlefield experiences during World War II illustrate his evolution as a leader. He's entrusted with critical operations, and his decisions directly affect the lives of countless soldiers. Unlike leaders who rely solely on authority or rank, Damon leads by example, earning unwavering loyalty through empathy, competence, and courage. He demonstrates that true leadership balances tactical skill with ethical responsibility, ensuring the mission's success while safeguarding the well-being of those under his command. Throughout the war, Damon faces the constant tension between duty and personal risk. He navigates complex strategic challenges, makes swift decisions under pressure, and contends with the unpredictability of warfare. His actions reveal a profound understanding of human nature. He knows that morale, trust, and respect are as crucial as strategy and firepower. Even amid chaos, Damon's adherence to principle remains unshaken, reinforcing the central theme of the novel, that character endures when tested in extreme circumstances. The section also highlights Damon's contrast with his long-standing rival, Courtney Massengale. While Damon exemplifies selfless leadership, Massengale continues to prioritize personal gain and ambition. This juxtaposition intensifies the moral and professional stakes of Damon's career, showing how the choices of leaders shape not only immediate outcomes, but also long-term legacies. Additionally, the Supreme Trial delves into the personal cost of leadership. Damon witnesses immense human suffering, experiences profound loss, and faces moments of moral ambiguity that challenge his judgment and resilience. These experiences deepen his understanding of sacrifice, responsibility, and the heavy burden borne by those who lead in war. By the end of this section, Damon emerges as a hero not merely because of battlefield accomplishments, but because of his unwavering adherence to principle and his dedication to those he commands. World War II solidifies Damon's reputation as a leader defined by honor, courage, and ethical fortitude. His experiences during this supreme trial underscore the enduring message of Once an Eagle. True greatness lies not in rank or accolades, but in integrity, selfless service, and the moral courage to do what is right under the most trying circumstances.
Post-war realities. The post-war realities section of Once an Eagle explores Sam Damon's life and career after the conclusion of World War II, a period that tests his character in ways different from the battlefield. While Damon has proven himself in combat and established a reputation for ethical leadership, the post-war environment introduces new challenges: bureaucratic politics, institutional change, and the tension between personal values and professional demands. Returning from the war, Damon finds an army in transition. The glory of combat has passed, and peacetime brings with it administrative responsibilities, evolving military strategies, and a complex web of political maneuvering. Leaders like Courtney Massengale continue to pursue self-interest, exploiting the system for career advancement, while Damon remains committed to integrity, fairness, and service. This contrast highlights one of the novel's central themes, the enduring struggle between honor and ambition. During this time, Damon also confronts the personal dimensions of post-war life. The demands of family, home, and personal relationships require attention alongside his professional duties. These experiences underscore the broader responsibilities of leadership beyond the battlefield, demonstrating that moral and ethical courage is as essential in daily life as it is in combat. Damon's choices reveal a consistent philosophy. Leadership is defined not by rank, but by the ethical, principled treatment of those one leads. The post-war years also illuminate the systemic challenges within the Army. Damon witnesses how bureaucratic inertia, politics, and ambition-driven leadership can undermine morale and operational effectiveness. Despite these obstacles, he continues to mentor younger officers, foster a culture of integrity, and advocate for ethical decision-making, leaving a lasting impact on those around him. Moreover, Damon's reflections during this period reinforce the novel's message about the long-term consequences of choices. True leadership is not only about immediate results, but about shaping the future through principled action. Damon's steadfastness contrasts with Massengale's opportunism, illustrating the difference between transient success and enduring respect. By the end of post-war realities, Damon emerges as a figure who embodies the essence of honorable leadership, capable, compassionate, and unwavering in principle. The section underscores that while war tests physical courage and tactical skill, peace tests moral courage, resilience, and the ability to uphold values in the face of political and personal pressures. Anton Myrer uses Damon's post-war experiences to highlight that leadership, character, and integrity are lifelong commitments, and that true greatness is measured not by accolades or position, but by the ethical choices one makes consistently, even when recognition is absent.
The Vietnam-era shadow section of Once an Eagle examines the final phase of Sam Damon's career and life, highlighting the moral and institutional challenges that arise in the aftermath of earlier wars. While Damon has proven himself as a model of integrity, courage, and selfless leadership, this period casts a long shadow, reflecting the growing tension between personal values and systemic corruption within the military and society at large. During the Vietnam era, Damon witnesses an army increasingly influenced by politics, ambition, and expediency rather than principle. Decisions are often driven by careerism or political calculation rather than duty and ethical responsibility. This environment stands in stark contrast to the values Damon has consistently upheld, emphasizing the persistent struggle between integrity and opportunism that has been central to his life and career. Damon sees younger officers being shaped more by expedience than by character, mirroring the ethical challenges he faced earlier in his career, but on a broader scale. The shadow of Vietnam also forces Damon to reflect on the human cost of leadership and warfare. He observes the physical and moral toll on soldiers sent into conflicts, often detached from strategic clarity or ethical guidance. Through these observations, Myrer underscores a recurring theme. Leadership is not just about winning battles, but about protecting, guiding, and morally supporting those entrusted to one's command. Damon's unwavering adherence to principle provides a stark contrast to the often morally ambiguous decisions of the era, reinforcing the enduring importance of character in leadership. This period also highlights the enduring influence of Damon's personal example. Though he cannot control systemic failures, his mentorship, ethical conduct, and dedication to duty leave a lasting imprint on those who have served under him. Damon's integrity and courage act as a benchmark, showing how individual morality can persist even amid institutional compromise. Finally, the Vietnam-era shadow serves as a sobering reflection on legacy. Damon recognizes that while wars and politics may tarnish institutions, the principles he has lived by, honor, integrity, and selfless service, remain timeless. His life contrasts sharply with the careerism and opportunism embodied by figures like Courtney Massengale, highlighting the novel's enduring message. True greatness is measured not by rank or recognition, but by the consistent application of ethical leadership even when the system rewards the opposite.
Listening to Once an Eagle by Anton Myrer is more than following the journey of one man. It's an exploration of leadership, integrity, and the timeless struggle between honor and ambition. From Sam Damon's humble beginnings to the crucibles of World War I and World War II, we witness a man shaped not just by battles, but by the choices he makes, the people he leads, and the principles he refuses to compromise. His unwavering commitment to duty, empathy, and moral courage stands in stark contrast to those who seek personal gain at the expense of others, reminding us that true greatness lies not in rank or recognition, but in character and selfless service. This story teaches lessons that extend far beyond the military. Leadership, resilience, and ethical decision-making are values we can carry into our own lives. As you reflect on Damon's journey, you begin to see how integrity and perseverance define the people we admire most and the people we can become. If you loved this summary and want more insights from powerful books that shape the mind and heart, join the WiserReads community. Subscribe now and let's continue this journey together, because every book has the power to change the way we see the world and the way we live in it.